Hi friends, welcome to the All-Canadian Reptile Girl. I'm Annaliese, and I've got to do a better job of making sure I eat my 5 fruits and vegetables a week.
Oh, no, it's a day. A day. 5 fruits and veggies a day.
A what?
This adorable little lump is Crouton, a gray tree frog of some kind. I'll explain more in a minute. And today I'm going to tell you about Crouton, why I have her, why I shouldn't have her, why I can't not have her, and also build an amazing new home for her courtesy of my friends at New Age Pets. Let's go. Alrighty, story time. My mom works an administrative job in a grocery store, and one day a couple of months back, a customer found a frog in a bag of lettuce. Now, you might not know this, but frogs aren't native to bags of lettuce. They normally don't do well in that environment, so it was pretty lucky for Crouton here. Get it? Crouton? Because she was found in a bag of lettuce. And croutons, they're salad. I'm clever! Anyway, it was lucky for Crouton here that she was found in store and that my mom just happened to know a G-list YouTube celebrity in the reptile/exotic pet niche that could, take care of her. And here we are, getting peed on by a very small lump. But Crouton is not really supposed to be here. She is a wild animal that happened to be hiding out in a head of lettuce when it was harvested. She's not a pet and should be released back into the wild, but I can't do that for a couple of reasons. You see, Crouton is a gray tree frog, but we don't know what kind of gray tree frog she is. There are 2 species, the normal gray tree frog, Dryophytes versicolor, which is native to where I live in Ontario, and the Cope's gray tree frog, Dryophytes cryocellus, which is not native here where I live. They are pretty much physically indistinguishable from each other, and the only way to tell them apart, aside from genetic testing, is by their call. Only the males call. Crouton is a female, which means we have no reasonable way of knowing which type of gray tree frog she is. We even researched where the lettuce came from to see if that could give us any indication, and they get it from 2 places. One where only the gray tree frog lives, and another where both the gray and Cope's tree frogs do. So, no help there. Cool. You wanna jump? Yeah, I know. It gets even messier. You can keep captive bred Cope's gray tree frogs here, but it seems like the native gray tree frog might be a no-go. Taking them from the wild is not permitted, and it doesn't specify that you can't keep captive bred gray tree frogs, but generally in Ontario, you can't keep native species even if they're captive bred. There are workarounds. For example, you can't keep eastern garter snakes or bullfrogs as pets, but if you have a trapping license, you can harvest them and keep them indefinitely. I guess the government is okay with us taking them for food or skin and care for them indefinitely while you plump them up, but it's not okay to just have one as a pet because, I think they're neat. Bit strange, but whatever. I don't know. But I do know that gray tree frogs are certainly not allowed to be taken from the wild. That's a no-no. But it's also illegal. Oh, hello. Come here. It's also illegal to just release any gray tree frog into the wild. I'm sure that the intent is to prevent people from dumping their pets, but it doesn't specify. It just says releasing any tree frog is prohibited. By the way, we did reach out to a wildlife rescue too. They don't want her. So even if we knew for sure this was a normal gray tree frog, we'd still be breaking the law by releasing her. To be clear, if we knew for certain she was a gray tree frog, we'd be releasing her. It's just the right thing to do. She came from the wild, she belongs in the wild. She was never not part of a breeding program to increase the numbers or anything like that. She belongs in the wild, but we can't. We've even checked if they have a home range, like many frog species, they don't. If you aren't aware, some frog species need to return to the body of water that they were born in. That's called natal state fidelity. If you take a frog like that and put them somewhere else, they will wander forever looking for their home so that they can breed. Usually, they don't make it.
Down the road, that's where I'll always be.
That's not a concern with the gray tree frogs, but is for many, and might be another reason why they don't want you just releasing wild frogs willy-nilly. In any case, if Crouton were a true gray tree frog, she'd be fine being released in the woods near here, but again, we don't know that that is what she is. So between the maybe illegal choice of keeping her, the definitely illegal choice of releasing her, and the actual most legal but awful option of we opted to keep her. It's a gray area, fitting as she's a gray tree frog of some kind. She's a gray area and her situation's a gray area. Anyways, but I think this is the most ethical solution. And one that requires a new home. As this quarantine enclosure she is in currently is not big enough by a long shot. It served its purpose as a quarantine home, like I said. It was easier to monitor her health and condition because it was smaller. But gray tree frogs are active animals and need a lot of space, and she is wild and is used to, well, unlimited space, you know, before she moved into a plastic bag full of leaves that we eat for some reason. So I need a big enclosure for this tiny little girl. Thankfully, my friends at New Age Pet have me covered. They reached out asking a little while back if I'd be interested in testing out and reviewing one of their Madagascar Reptile Lounge enclosures. And this is the perfect project for that. Let's go see what they sent. Hi, everyone. So this is the enclosure from New Age Pets. Sorry about my hair, I'm dyeing it right now, which you probably know because you saw me a minute ago, but I haven't filmed that yet, so I don't know what my hair is gonna look like. It might look dark. It might just look like when I dye my hair dark blue, it really only just looked dark. It's purple for anyone who's interested. Anyways, we're gonna open this up and put it together to see what we got and make a plan for kind of the decorations we want to do for Crouton. Also, don't mind the mess in the back. We just finished building an enclosure for other frogs, which you may or may not know about, as I don't know when these are going out, so surprise. Yeah, let's get this open. I'm good at this. Can I have the instructions, please? I need those. All right, so this box here holds the glass. It says fragile on it. So I'm probably gonna hand this to Dad. I'm just gonna make sure that everything's good. Everything looks good. Great. So I'm gonna hand this to Dad. That way he can have it out of the way whilst I continue putting this together. All right, so we have all of the pieces out. Everything looks good, and these things go together really, really quickly and really easily. All that we need to do is attach the back, the sides, the front, the top, and then the glass.
Everybody can relax. I found the car. Needs some suspension work and shocks and brakes, brake pads, lining, steering box, transmission, rear end, maybe new rings, also mufflers, a little wiring.
It's really easy, really quick. It comes with these specific plastic screws, and it actually has its own little wrench for them, so that's cool. This was really, really quick and really easy and intuitive to put together. It took like 10 minutes. Obviously it was sped up for you, but yeah, like 10 minutes. It's really light, like I can lift it and it's fine. Obviously that's without stuff in it, but the material is light, but it's very, very sturdy. Like it's solid without being too heavy, which I really like. And I think I like the darker color. You could choose between a light beige, almost like off-white, or this one. And I really like this one. All right, well, that's enough for me here. We're gonna cut to either planning or actually building or building of the other stuff or I'm done. I'm gonna go and wash out my hair and hopefully it turns out purple. Bye! Don't leave the video though. Like, continue watching. You understand. Okay, here's the plan. Going full bioactive, so I need to seal the bottom. Dad's already done that for me, thanks. I want lots and lots and lots of branches, like trees. I want trees. I'm going to go mostly vertical, but I kind of want them all falling in one direction to kind of evoke a sense of movement. Can you stop? Come back here. I'll also have some crisscrossy or horizontal branches too. I'll put in some nice plants. I have some pothos cuttings that I can put in there and have it all be climby and everywhere. Maybe a mother-in-law's tongue will work too. They get nice and tall, lots of cover for her. We'll need a water dish, which she already has, rocks, moss. Oh! We'll need water dish, rocks, moss, dirt, you know, the whole shebang. Now, like I said, I want lots of trees, and for that to be the focus. So I'm not gonna spend a whole bunch of time on an elaborate background with rocky shelves and all of that like some of my other enclosures. I'm thinking just a fairly simple cocoa fiber mat with moss and sticks and stuff glued on, and you know, there are like some styrofoam shelves underneath, but basically just like this. Yeah, so this looks pretty good. I have some scrap cork background that I repurposed. I also glued some vertical branches on the sides and moss and bits of stuff. Some bark and cork too, obviously, including this bit that covers the back vent / port thing without blocking it. So there's a little pocket that can serve as a hide for Crouton and also lets the vent, well, vent if needed. Same deal with the side vents. The mat is not glued down over the vents, and I ran some ribbing between to create space between the wall and the mat. See? This covers the vents visually, but still allows airflow and will stop any water from spewing out of the enclosure during misting. Okay, we're going to make this into a forest, which means that all this needs to be installed in a beautiful but practical and usable way. Let's get this inside and get to it. Okay, first thing we need is a drainage layer, like this. Like this. No, like this. That's better. Exactly. Okay, I'm using ceramic balls with a screen over top. Now, we need soil, substrate, plants and decor, and lights. We're set! I think this will work really well. Okay, let's put the doors on and wait a week or two for everything to fully cure, and then get Crouton in and let her explore her new home. All right, so this has been setting up and curing for a couple of weeks, and we are all ready to move Crouton in, which I think is amazing. She is gonna love it. She jumps around so much at night. I can hear it because she's in my room. I can hear her just like jumping around, so I'm really excited to put her in here. I think she's really gonna love it, and I think it turned out great. So this is New Age Pets Madagascar Reptile Lounge. This is really big, especially for, it's kind of ridiculous. Like tiny frog, massive enclosure. Just, anyways, it's really big, so it's 30 inches across, it's 24 deep and 36 tall. So massive, like we said. It's perfect for an arboreal animal like Crouton, especially since she is used to, like we said, unlimited space. So you saw the time lapse. This was super easy to put together, like, because it comes flat like you saw, and it took 10 minutes, I don't know. I followed the instructions when I put it together, and you should too, but honestly, it was so easy that you could probably figure it out without the instructions, but follow the instructions and read safety warnings and all of that stuff. This is a really nice enclosure. It's really sturdy, even though it is really light, and even fully set up like this with all of this stuff in it, it is still lighter than an empty glass enclosure, basically of the same size. Even with all of this stuff in here, it's still super duper easy to move, even for me, little chronic illness lady here. It's great. The reason it's so light but so sturdy is because it's made of a wood plastic composite called EcoFlex. It's moisture resistant, easy to clean, and this comes in 2 colors. I really like this one. This one is the gray. You couldn't tell. And the other color is maple, a light brown color. You know, like maple wood is. You've got lots of ventilation with this thing as well. There are these slots on the side. There's a vent or port, whatever you want to call it, at the back if you want to run a mister or a probe in. And at the top, there's this really heavy duty screen, which is awesome for us as we have an Oscar who does like to climb on enclosures occasionally. And most cannot handle a 22-pound cat stomping about. So this heavy duty screen is awesome. Let's do the tour of the interior tank now that we have covered all of the outside. Like I mentioned, I've kind of pushed most of the branches one way, this kind of back, to kind of, like I said earlier, evoke motion. And it kind of leads the eye into the enclosure, makes it look a little bit deeper. So I really like that. And there's lots of paths and perches and walkways and hidey holes that she can jump to and fro. If she's feeling lazy, she can stroll hither and yon. I think Crouton will love it. We even put a little bit of like sprinkle moss that will hopefully grow into moss to coat some stuff. So fingers crossed that works. We only put it in a couple days ago, so we can't see anything yet, but I'm really excited about that. There's some cool like other moss that we put in that's, oh, have you touched it?
Yes.
Since it's like come back to life.
It's very soft.
It is, I quite like this. Crouton, I'm going to be going into your enclosure to pet the moss. Like I mentioned, the little port at the back with the hidey hole, which I think will be great. I think she's gonna probably spend most of her time on this stick right here. Yep. Or this one, maybe that one. She's a middle of enclosure gal.
Okay.
Yeah. We also still need to put her water dish in. It's still upstairs in her current enclosure. I just need to wash it out. I tried to imagine what routes she would take through her enclosure, and using what I already know about her, I tried to make some perches in the places she would like. Like I said, this guy right here, I think she'll really like that angle because then she can watch, but she can also hide behind it if she needs to and jump away. So I think she's really, really gonna like it. I think there are some great spots for her in here, and I'm really excited to see what she does with this space. So let's put her in. I will be adding a couple of things from her current enclosure, some sticks and stuff, so that it smells like her, and you know, familiarity. That's what she's grown used to in this strange world we brought her into. So I'll put those in after the fact, but let's get this little girl in here. Yeah. Oh, good girl. She looks great in there. All right, so she is pretty active today, but I don't know if she's gonna do a lot of exploring right now. I think she's gonna kind of stay right where she is, or she's gonna go and find a little hidey hole and hide, which is a little anticlimactic for you watching. So I'll make sure to put up some B-roll that I will shoot over the next few days as she explores. So whatever you see going on in the next couple of minutes, just imagine that she's doing it right now. I'll even narrate some things that I just know we're going to see. Here's Crouton doing a jumpy jump. Here's another jump. Wait for it. Jump. Now she's climbing. Look at her go, her little feet. She's sleeping here. Not exciting, but she is very cute, and her little hands are so polite. She doesn't just climb on the trees, she also loves climbing the back. She's found some cozy spots, but mostly likes to perch out in the open. A wonderful new home for my wonderful accidental tree frog. While I firmly believe that wild animals belong in the wild, sometimes nature, fate, the universe, random chance, flying spaghetti monster, whatever, has other plans, and I get a new friend. Thank you to New Age Pets for providing Crouton's new home. I'm really happy with it. I can't wait to see her move around in this. I think it's gonna be great. Guys, you should definitely go check them out. Links below and in the description. Earnestly, I really do love these enclosures. I built one for a friend at the end of last year. It was a 40 long, so it wasn't a tall one. So 2 different enclosures now. And I was super impressed with how that one had gone together and the experience that's been cemented with this. I will definitely be transitioning some of my existing enclosures to these ones as I do upgrades over the next year. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. Thanks again to New Age Pets. You guys rock. Thank you so much for this. Thanks as well to my patrons for all of their support. Thank you to you all watching. Give the video a like, check out New Age Pets, and remember to nurture all nature. Bye! Here's Crouton doing a jumpy jump. Here's another jump. Wait for it. Jump. Now she's climbing. Look at her go, her little feet. She's sleeping here. Not exciting, but she is very cute, and her little hands are so polite. She doesn't just climb on the trees, she also loves climbing the back and sides. She's found some cozy spots, but mostly likes to perch up here, back here, in here, out in the open here. That won't look psychotic to watch.